Welcome to Breaking Banks Africa. I'm Matteo Rizzi, and together with my co-host Nadine Zoro, let us take you on a journey of entrepreneurship, innovation, and vibrant ecosystems Africa has to showcase. More than 1 in 4 people will be African by 2050, this continent being already the youngest of the planet. You can't miss these stories. This is Breaking Banks Africa. Let's roll.
Welcome to this episode of Breaking Bank Africa. We are at episode number 9. Breaking Banks Africa is a podcast where we dive deep into the ideas, innovation, and leaders transforming the financial landscape across the continent. Today, we have the chance to be with Coura Sene, the director of WAEMU, and we're going to be exploring the amazing work we have been doing in the WAEMU region. WAEMU is known for its focus on affordability, on simplicity, and a bold vision of making financial services accessible to everyone. In our conversation today, we'll discuss how mobile money is opening doors for underserved communities, why the user-friendly solution matters so much for adoption and trust, and we're going to explore Coura's journey in building financial services at scale. So, Coura, it's a pleasure to have you on Breaking Banks Africa. Let's dive in and tell us more about you and your background. How did you get to WAEMU?
Okay. Hello, Nadine. I'm also very happy to be with you today and to have this discussion about mobile money in Africa and how mobile money can help to break the barriers with the banks, the traditional banks. So to talk about me, I would say that I'm not so young now, but I'm a young woman, Senegalese, mom of 3 kids. I have a degree in mathematics and then I'm software engineer also. After my high school, I moved to France where I study mathematics and computer science. Then I worked there over 10 years as a software engineer, project manager on IT. I moved back after over 10 years of experience in France, in Senegal, because I wanted to contribute and to explore the opportunities we had in Africa. It was in 2012. I moved back with my family, my 3 kids, and I first focused on helping them, my kids particularly, to settle to their new life because it was a big opportunity for them to grow in Africa. I wanted to offer that to them, but also I wanted to contribute on in the development of Africa, in particular Senegal. So I started my new career as a consultant in Senegal, helping big companies, large companies with their challenges, thanks to my experience in France. And that's how I met with WAEMU, where I started as a consultant. And when I met with WAEMU, I was already convinced about the potential of mobile money. So I joined WAEMU as head of BizDev first, then as a director of WAEMU Senegal, then in Côte d'Ivoire, and now I'm a regional director at WAEMU. WAEMU is operating in 8 countries now in Africa. So I'm a regional director, and I'm mainly focused on public affairs, what we call public affairs. Public affairs is about communication with regulator and government in all our countries. So my impact at WAEMU now is focused on how to convince regulators to give us new license in new countries, how to overcome challenges. Regulation is coming with a lot of challenges every day when you want to make innovation.
So, Coura, very amazing. And I think WAEMU has been doing waves in Francophone West Africa. We've seen a lot of tremendous work, and WAEMU has driven so much financial inclusion. Tell us more about how the way WAEMU sees affordability and simplicity has worked and has been very crucial to improve adoption and trust in digital financial services.
Yes. So yes, as you know, we've operate on a very simple way because we believe that simplicity is the key for adoption. And beyond having low fees and transparent pricing, we believe that what is very important for to have like digital finance work is to build the trust with our user. And for us, how to build trust is to have simplicity. It's very important to have simplicity to allow trust, because trust is the key for adoption of digital finance services. And like many of our users are very new to financial services, they were not used to use financial services. They were using cash, and our challenge is to build a very simple product. If the product is complex or the fees are unclear, there will be no adoption. So that's what we understand about for mobile money. So from the beginning, we have made a deliberate choice to focus on the user experience, to offer the simplest user experience we can. So for us, innovation is not about complexity. It's about removing friction for user. When we are building a product, we are trying to build the most simple product we can for our user who are sometimes illiterate, and for many of them, they never use a mobile money. So by making the service affordable and simple, we help people to we build confidence and trust in digital money. And over the time, this trust becomes the foundation of a deeper financial engagement for saving, credit, insurance. So this is why simplicity is not just about design. It's not a design choice. It's a central to long-term inclusion. It's very important.
Yes, and Wave has done. I mean, we were all very surprised to look in this environment and see a new company coming in and deciding to move the fees for some of them that were up to even 12% to 1%. So what was the challenge that you had to face when you decided to have this very drastic reduction on the cost of mobile money transactions? Yeah.
Yes. So yes, the first thing is, okay, why mobile money? We know why mobile money, because accessing to the traditional bank is very complicated. It's expensive. You have to pay a lot of fees. It's not clear. You don't know, and it was a real barrier for people that were who were excluded from the financial world. So what was the challenge when we came with lower fees? First thing was like we understood that to create adoption and to really have an impact, we needed to remove all the barriers. The barriers was pricing, lack of technology, and also like what we call availability of the service in general, about availability of the service in terms of fund and in terms of network. We needed to build tools that were very simple, that could work with low internet, that could be used by everyone, and also tools where people with low financial income could use and pay. If you take the example, when we started in 2018 in Senegal, we observed that many economical operators were not using mobile money to send money really. Because if you are a trader, you only have 5% or 10% of margin. Why would you pay the 5% just to send money back to your provider? We took the example of the fish economy, where people were buying fish in the south of Senegal, sending it to Dakar, selling it on the market, and sending back the money. And when they had to pay 5 for, and you said even 12% sometimes for the lower tiers was the one who was the most most expensive. They were not using, the cash was going back on the same way than the fish came. in the boat. Yes, and so we understood that it was critical to have very low fees to create adoption, and also by discussing, like we discussed with them, okay, why you are not using the current mobile money offers. And they all said that it was very expensive. So that's how, like, it was not a challenge. I want to say it was the thing to do. It was the right thing to do.
Yes, and this is a kind of pragmatism that I think we're all looking for when we're looking at fintech and we're looking at digital financial services. Fintech startups are coming with solutions that are supposed to be very pragmatic and meeting very specific needs. And I think that's what you've been able to do, going to a market, meeting people, and getting to know what they're doing. And but how do you see mobile money then after doing that, transforming access to financial services in general across Francophone West Africa, especially in underserved communities, rural communities, communities with very low access also to the internet, for example?
Yes, for example, for with like for fintech, like we are not a subsidiary of a telco company. It was like critical to the solutions that would work without friction. So we started in rural zone, as I said. We started in rural zone because we went where people needed us, not in cities, big cities where they already have some solution. Even if this was expensive, it was okay for them. We started in rural zone and we built a product that will work on rural zone with a very low internet. So we started with the first thing is, okay, we have USSD. USSD is great. USSD is accessible in rural zone, but USSD is not accessible for illiterate people because you have to say a lot of syntax for a simple order. So we decided to provide them with a QR card. This is where, like, we use technology to solve our problem. We decided to, in the rural zone, to come with a QR card a plastic card with a QR code that were very perfect for the fish. We were in the fish community. We started as a startup, as a pilot in the community. And so when we started in Senegal, the fish activity is one of the biggest. So we started with them, the fishmongers, and the fisherman. We provided them with this QR card in plastic. And they didn't have, this person in the rural area, they didn't have to bother about having a smartphone or having connectivity. It was solved on the agent side. So we had some agent who had the agent application with internet. We supporting them to have that. So the rural, our customers who were in rural zone, they have only this QR code on a plastic card, and they could go to an agent, and the agent would be the one to scan the QR and to help them to transact. So this is also a product we are calling like a simple product that fit with a real need for people who don't have smartphone, they don't have connectivity, they don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, and I like how you started from an economic activity, looking at how really was your solution could really help boost the economic activity and encourage the people to move money around faster and get more benefit from what they were moving around. I think that's pretty interesting. But I think when you came also, I can imagine as a startup, you would face some issues, challenges when it comes to the regulation. Did you have any challenge or opportunities that you also met in the process from regulation side or infrastructure that you saw? And how do you think collaboration across different stakeholders can help address those issues that you observed?
Yeah, the biggest, I think that you said it, the biggest challenge is, okay, you are a new competitor and you are competing with some telco subsidiaries, and you need telco services. So the first challenge we had was to have this partnership with the telcos to be able to deliver SMS to your user when they perform a transfer, to have a call center to be called. So the first challenge was to have this partnership. But it's when collaboration is key, and I will say first collaboration with regulators. Is the first thing, like going to the telco regulator and explaining them what you are doing, why it's important for them to support you. And I have to say that the regulation landscape is like we have a basis, and you can build something on top of this. So on the telco side, we are a value-added services provider. And when you collaborate with the regulator and explain them what you have, they can support you. They can support you to have the USSD code. Even if we didn't really build on it, they can support you to have the partnership for the short code, to be able to send SMS, because it was very important, to have a call center. This is the first thing. When you have the support of the regulator, then you go to the telco services. And before going to the telco services, you have a lot of aggregators in the ecosystem you can work with at the beginning when you are small, to deliver your SMS. So it's all about collaboration, but first collaboration with the regulator first. It's very important. I want to say that because a lot of startups, they think that they think that it's not a good idea to talk with regulator at the beginning. At WAVE, we did the opposite. We went first to talk to the regulator, and on top of the telco regulator, we went to see the central bank, BCAO, to tell them about our ambition. They found that it was very ambitious and very difficult maybe to achieve, but at least they directed us to have some partnership with some banks. So that's how we launched our services in February 2018, thanks to a partnership with UBA, a bank, because bank already have the license to operate mobile money, and they can have partnership with fintech. So we launched we launched our operation as a partnership with a bank, but with partnership with some aggregator, allowing us to launch to have SMS. So that's why it's very important at the beginning, and collaboration is the key to overcome the issues you can face at the beginning. First, the other issues you will have will be the customer. Okay, you are new, you are offering new product with very low pricing. You want to build trust, but at the beginning, trust is not there because it's about money. They will use to pay lot of fees, and then when I see a new actor coming with low fees, they will have a lot of questions. Why is it possible? Why it was not done before? Are you serious? Is it sustainable? Because they will you need to build this trust, because like it's about money. They will give you their money. If it's about the fishmonger, they will send the revenue through your product. So they need to trust you. So building trust. So another key, the other challenges you have to face with the user is to be on the field, like not sitting in office. Things are happening on the field, being constantly on the field with your customer in the market, talking to them, showing them what you are doing, building this trust on a daily basis. It's very important. So it's all about collaboration for the user. Yes, and listening to them. Mm-hmm.
And I was amazed. I mean, we in Cote d'Ivoire, we were seeing Wave everywhere. You go to a restaurant, Wave is there. You go to the markets in the villages, it was everywhere. And getting close to the people, I think it made a very big difference because it helped you to really understand what they were going through, what their lives looked like. But you started with a regulator, and I think this is generally fintech or startups will be scared of regulation, right? They'll run away. Nobody will go to the police to to start asking what is needed, and also get the police to really the regulator really dig into the operation and understand what they are planning to do. So I think this was very old, and maybe that takes me to the next question, Coura.
Mm-hmm.
On your leadership journey, and I've seen, you are a woman and you are in financial services that's already highly male dominated, and also with big companies, international companies that have been there for so long. Can you share with us some lesson from your leadership journey that have shaped the way you approach innovation and inclusion today?
Okay, it's a great question. We are learning every day. We are learning every day. But today, after 8 years at Wave, what I want to say is the first lesson is that leadership is about listening. We talk about it. You need to, like, to build the services that matter. You have to understand the realities of the people you want to serve, what challenge they face, what motivates them, what's the barrier stand on their way. You have just to listen and to understand their needs before building solution for them. So the first lesson is leadership is about listening. The second lesson is about, like, resilience is key. I think that you know that very well. All the startup on the founder will say that you have to be resilient if you want to build something new from scratch. Leading large scale transformation in financial services in Africa come with a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacle on the regulator side. We have some infrastructure gaps. And I talk about the skepticism from even the user and all the market. So you have to face that. One day someone told me, okay, like, Coura, this is not sustainable. You cannot just, like, charge 1% for transfer and charge nothing for withdrawal. It's not normal. People are not doing that. I said, okay, who said that innovation is only about technology? Innovation is also about business model. Innovation is about things. So you will face a lot of skepticism. So the second lesson is like to be resilient. To be resilient, to stay persistent. Sometimes, like, you want to launch a product and everyone, even like the regulator, won't believe on it, and you have to remain persistent, resilient, and come again and come again. We just launched the Visa virtual card. For the first time when we submitted the approval for the BCAO, it was in 2021. It was 4 years ago. And we came up again and again and again, and we fixed all the issues they raised. And resilience is key. So it's the second lesson. So the first thing is to listen. The second thing is to be resilient. And the last lesson is, like, it has to be intentional. You have to want to do that. It's not an option. Like, nothing happened by accident. People will think that it happened by accident. It was a change. Nothing happened by accident, Nadine. You have to design everything for success. It has to become inevitable. When you are building product, leading teams, everything, it has to be intentional. You have to plan things. And it's very important to understand these key lessons, like about listening, being resilient, and you just cannot just want to be a founder or want to be a startup just for the fun. You need to have a real vision and real intention for what you are doing. So these are the lesson, like, that guide me, and that to ensure that innovation is not just about technology. It's about creating real access for people who need it most.
I think I'm too inspired, and I'm too inspired. And you talked about, really, it's about listening, it's about resilience, it's about intentionality. And I think when we talk about inclusion, people tend to think it happens by mistake. It happened by accident, and you are just lucky. And it's great to hear that also at a bigger level, when you're trying to target millions of people and you're trying to target people that are structurally excluded, it requires some intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
And Coura, I think I know you, and I know how you've worked so hard, and the work and the impact that you are having. But as a woman, and I come back again, have you faced any specific challenges as a woman in the financial sector?
Always, always. I think that as a woman, the first thing is sometimes, okay, some things are easier because, okay, how to say that? What my experience is sometimes people will underestimate you because you are a woman. I face it that. So at the beginning, for example, when I want to have some collaboration, I got something more easily than a man because people will just underestimate you because you are a woman. This is a good good part. This is a good part of being a woman. Okay, they don't care. They think that nothing will happen. They just give you everything you want. Uh, and on the second time, when things become serious, it's become more complicated because you are a woman for many things. Just being a woman in a normal society in Africa come with some challenges. I had so a lot of example in my mind where being a woman would be complicated. Just to business, being a woman, being a mom, having some meetings very late, um, not being included because you are a woman for some activities between men. Um, but like I'm a very positive person. Nadine, in every situation, I will only focus on the positive side. So, and I'm very how to say that? I'm very passionate about how to help other women. I'm a feminist. I'm very passionate about women. And so I will just support all women around me to say, okay, just act like you are just a human. I don't really like to focus to remind myself that I'm a woman. I'm just like a professional. And I will always act like I'm just like them. In a room when I'm with men, I will never remind myself that I'm a woman. I'm just a professional. I'm the regional director of WAVE. So this helped me to overcome barriers because I'm not presenting myself as a woman or something else. I'm just presenting myself as um like equal to them, and things are easier. But like what I experience the most is how they will underestimate you when you are a woman at the beginning.
Yes. If they underestimate you and that allows you to go faster and surprise
Exactly.
them, that's the most beautiful thing. So, Coura,
Exactly.
it's been amazing talking to you, and I want to go to our last question very quickly. Looking ahead of time, over the next 5 to 10 years, what excites you most about the future of mobile money and digital finance in Africa?
Yes, everything happened in the like less than 10 years. Many things happen. A lot of things happen. Very amazing, faster than what I would imagine. So, what would happen in the next 5 to 10 years? I think that I'm excited about the evolution we will have from basic mobile money transaction to a full ecosystem of digital financial services. It's happening. In the next decade, we will see mobile money becoming the foundation of saving. It will be the foundation of saving, credit, insurance, investment. All this will be delivered in ways that are affordable and accessible. That's what will happen. I'm also excited about the advance we will have in digital identity. I think that I didn't talk about it. It's also fascinating to see how we can, with digitalization, with the digital identity, all our government are working around that. With digital identity, everything will be easier. Will make easier to bring people in a formal economy. And also with interoperability that will reduce costs and increase efficiency across border. I'm excited about what will happen between our countries in Africa with interoperability, digital identity. And also, you talk about it, I'm also encouraged by the role of women and youth in shaping this future. We are building the right tools for them. So with these right tools, they can become not just consumer, of financial services, but they will be the driver of innovation and growth. I'm really convinced by that because I can see the impact we have for many women in the market in rural zone, how we help many women to perform their activities, and it will become more and more. So, as I was convinced 10 years ago when I came back in Africa that mobile money is one of the key of the development of our countries. I'm more convinced now that the future of digital finance in Africa is one where financial inclusion will fuel economical transformation, and this is what is motivating me every day.
Yes.
Yes.
And mobile money really as a key driver of economic growth, and we see it. I mean, everywhere in Cote d'Ivoire, you go to any shop, any small stall, anywhere, we have Wave everywhere, and people are buying things online, and it's all thanks to the work that has been done, the tremendous work of Wave and you under your leadership. So, Coura, I mean, it was an inspiring conversation with you, reminding us that financial inclusion isn't just about technology, it's about dignity, it's about opportunity and trust. And as mobile money continues to evolve, the choices we make today will define how millions across West Africa engage with the financial system tomorrow. You talked about intentionality, you talked about resilience, and we would like to thank you for sharing your journey, your vision, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in to Breaking Banks Africa. Stay with us as we keep spotlighting the innovators and leaders shaping the future of finance on the continent. Until next time, keep breaking barriers and keep breaking banks. And that's a wrap.
Thanks for listening to Breaking Banks Africa, a Provoke Media podcast in cooperation with timepledge.org. Don't forget to share us out or shout out across social media. If there is something or someone you would like to hear on our cast, let us know. See you next month on Breaking Banks Africa.